Okay, so when your team wins only 3 games all season, you know big changes are coming. And for the Arizona Cardinals, that meant hitting the reset button. They've brought in a new head coach, Mike LaFleur, but here's the kicker. They snagged him from a division rival. So the big question is this guy the real deal, or is this just another shot in the dark for Arizona? Let's get into it.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at just how bad things got for the Cardinals. Then, we'll meet the new guy, Mike LaFleur, and talk about why so many people are excited about him. After that, we'll get into the McVay coaching factory he comes from. And finally, we'll talk about the massive challenge, the mountain he has to climb to turn this thing around.
Okay, so to really get why this hire is such a big deal, you gotta understand the situation he's walking into. This wasn't just a bad season for the Cardinals. Nope, this was a full-on crisis, a real turning point for the whole franchise. The whole vibe in Arizona was just a downward spiral. The team wasn't just losing games, they looked lost. They were losing their identity, and the people in charge knew it. They realized a little patch-up job wasn't gonna cut it. They needed to hit the reset button, hard.
And here's the number that tells the whole story. 3-14. 3 wins, 14 losses. In the NFL, a record like that is basically a pink slip. And yep, sure enough, on January 5th, head coach Jonathan Gannon was shown the door.
But look, this wasn't some knee-jerk reaction. His firing kicked off a really careful, almost month-long search for the next guy. They talked to a ton of different people, which tells you they weren't just looking for a quick fix. They were hunting for someone to rebuild the entire program from the ground up.
So after all that searching, all the speculation, all the interviews, the Cardinals made their choice. They found their man.
And that man is Mike LaFleur. Now get this, he's only 38 years old, he's coming straight from their rivals, the LA Rams, and they gave him a 5-year deal. But the craziest part? He is the 6th Cardinals coach in a row hired with absolutely no prior head coaching experience. That's a bold move. They are betting big on potential here. And you can tell they're all in just by listening to the team's owner, Michael Bidwill. He's throwing around words like highly intelligent, sharp, creative, dynamic, innovative. See, he's not just talking about football plays. That's the language you use when you think you've found a game changer, a real visionary.
So, where did this guy even come from? This is maybe the most important part of the story, because he's not just some random coordinator. He comes from one of the most successful coaching factories in the entire NFL right now.
Yeah, he's a product of the Sean McVay coaching tree. For the last 3 years, he's been the offensive coordinator for the Rams, right under McVay's wing. And if you follow the league, you know McVay is considered this offensive guru. But his real superpower might be his ability to groom other great coaches.
Just look at this. This table says it all. You've got his brother Matt LaFleur at Green Bay, Kevin O'Connell at Minnesota, Liam Cohen now at the Jags, and now Mike LaFleur with the Cardinals. Every single one of McVay's offensive coordinators is now a head coach somewhere else. That is not an accident, people. It is a straight-up coaching factory.
And his resume is deeper than just the Rams. He was the OC for the Jets, so he has play-calling experience. And before that, he spent a good chunk of time with the 49ers. So think about that. He's worked for 2 of the Cardinals' biggest rivals. He knows this division like the back of his hand.
Okay, so the resume is fantastic. The pedigree is top-notch. But let's get real for a second. The job itself, it is a massive, massive challenge. He is not walking into a team that's one piece away from a Super Bowl.
Just look at these numbers. The offense dropped from 11th all the way down to 19th. And the defense? Yikes, from 21st to 27th. That is a free fall. We're not talking about a little slump here. This is a team that got worse, a lot worse, on both sides of the ball. And his job is to fix it, like yesterday.
And speaking of fixing things, let's talk about the giant $59 million elephant in the room. This is probably the single biggest decision he has to make, and it could define his entire tenure in Arizona.
And that elephant's name is Kyler Murray. What do you do with your franchise quarterback? The money involved is just mind-boggling. We're talking almost $40 million already guaranteed, and another $19.5 million becomes guaranteed really soon. So what do you do? Keep him? Trade him? There's no easy answer, and whatever he picks is going to have ripples for years. So let's just recap his to-do list, shall we? Figure out the whole Kyler Murray thing, don't mess up the number 3 pick in the draft, fix an offense that's ranked 19th, rebuild a defense that's ranked 27th, and, oh yeah, do all of that while playing in a division where the other 3 teams all made the playoffs last season. No pressure, right? The difficulty level here is set to expert.
And if you thought the pressure couldn't get any higher, listen to this. The owner, Michael Bidwill, came right out and said it. He's looking for a turnaround in year 1. Not year 2, year 1. So much for a grace period. The expectation is to win now, which just adds a whole other layer of intensity to this thing.
So that brings us to the bottom line. The Cardinals are making a huge bet here. They're betting that some of that Sean McVay magic can be bottled up and brought to the desert. They're betting on the coaching tree, they're betting on the resume, and they're betting on the man. But with a roster this challenged, and in a division this brutal, you have to wonder, is this a bet that's actually going to pay off?